Welcome back to the vlog 70.
So last week I got a ton of comments that you guys really liked that vlog because it had information and knowledge, not just me dancing around like a monkey.
Dance, monkey, dance!
I'll give you some more information. So we'll talk about posture again, weights, recovery weights, and pole vault, and I'll try and tie it all together at the end. Okay, here we go. Here's exactly how I look at my warm-up. I look at it like you need to turn the lights on in your body to get them ready to go.
Kind of like when you walk into a big room and there's a big panel of switches and you have to just switch them all before all the lights are on and everything's working in the gym.
Or, better yet, Apollo 13. Or like NASA when they're like,
give me a go, no go for launch. Booster. Go. Retro. Go. Vital. We're go fly. Guidance. Guidance go.
So you need to turn everything on, whether it's core, your glutes, your posterior chain, your anterior chain, your shoulder, you know, whatever you want to turn on, you need to turn it on. I've been doing these glute activation things.
I need to turn my glutes on.
I've been warming up with this ball in my hip, glute raisers, and these band exercises. And I'm not gonna lie, it works awesome. It puts everything in line and I feel like I'm in a straight line and way more powerful. How I've always explained it to my kids, or if you have a straight nail, it's way more powerful than a bent nail. Because if you try and hit a bent nail, it's gonna bend and break.
Don't be a spaghetti noodle.
That's what I've been doing in my warm-ups. Turn on the switches.
Give me a go, no go for launch. Booster. Go. Retro. Go. Vital. We're go fly. Guidance. Guidance go. Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
Roger that, Houston.
I also got a few questions from people asking about plyos. And here's the thing, there's all sorts of different types of plyos. If you do the big plyos, the ones that everyone always thinks of, the intensity is way too high, like jumping off of a box. That's just too high right now. So all the plyos I'm doing are high in volume and low in intensity. The idea is to teach your body, to prepare the body to handle these loads and to be in the right biomechanical positions to be able to handle the loads and create the right stretch reflexes to create them moving forward and get the most out of your forces. So yeah, everything is light, just a lot of them. And so everything I'm focusing on is being tall, squeezing the glutes in a posterior pelvic tilt, and keeping my core just locked down and tight.
Posture is key in plyos.
Boom! Done.
I also got a few Facebook messages about the eccentric and isometric loading. I've been reading a lot of research on Cal Dietz, University of Minnesota's strength and conditioning coach, for the last year, and I finally bought his book. But the whole idea is every movement pattern has an eccentric movement, an isometric movement, and a concentric movement. So the eccentric movement is when you go down. So let's
do a bench, for example, because everyone knows how to bench press.
Eccentric movement would be the way down towards your chest. The isometric movement would be when it stops and pauses, and the concentric movement is when the bar is moving forward. The whole idea is to train those three different sections of the movement pattern. And is what Cal Dietz found, faster someone could switch directions, that's where power came from, not necessarily the concentric motion. Everyone's trying to do everything forward and fast.
And that doesn't work.
So he found the athletes who were most powerful and can move the most weight were the ones who could eccentrically load and change directions the fastest. So if you think about running, it does the same thing. As your foot strikes the ground, it eccentrically loads, point where it changes direction and nothing moves. That's the isometric part. And then from there, it turns into the concentric part. So, 3 phases, and I've been training that way my weights for the last 2 years, and it's done wonders for me. So check out Cal Dietz's book. I'll put a link in the description if you guys are interested in purchasing it. It's really good. Let them know I sent you there. That'll help me out a lot too.
But Shawn, what'd you do before Cal Dietz?
I'm really into Mike Boyle and Coach Dose.
my phone's gonna die.
The whole idea with those is that there's a balance in everything, and I think about this every day. This book is probably the best when it comes to it. I would highly recommend this for anybody who lifts, and if you don't know much about lifting, this will be the best way to get started.
Because it will teach you the fundamentals right off the bat, so you don't have to relearn them later.
But that whole idea, and I still do it on my recovery weights days, which are, they call it bodybuilding, but I like to call it restoration lifts. So the idea is that for every horizontal push movement, you do a horizontal pull. There's a balance to everything. For every hip dominant exercise, like an RDL, there's a knee dominant exercise, like a squat.
And here's some of my examples. I do it once or twice a week, just to balance everything back out.
It's supposed to keep you balanced so that if you are unbalanced in any way, let's say you just do bench all the time, you don't do any pulls, you'll start to find that your shoulders will start to curve in and come forward like this. And that happened to me a long time ago, and it forced me to have shoulder surgery. So you need to have a balance because it helps you biomechanically and structurally and posturally.
I'm trying to save you guys before it's too late.
Alright, and if we're talking about balance again, I am constantly on this line of mobility and stability. Most people in the athletic world are a little too stable, that they just do everything all the time, they do too much work and everything gets tight and they're not very flexible. You'll see it kind of a lot with
those guys who just lift all the time and they can't touch their toes.
There's a point if you can be too stable, things can tear and get hurt, like you pull a hamstring. There's a point where you're too mobile and then you lose power, force, and you can get hurt too. So injuries on both sides of it.
So you're constantly balancing this, I need to be mobile, I need to be stable, I need to be mobile, I need to be stable.
And the best way I've ever heard put it is it's like a pendulum swing, and it never stops. But the less you can make that pendulum swing from mobility to stability, that's where you want to be. Not these big...
Oh, I'm too stable. Oh, I'm too mobile. I'm too stable. I'm too stable.
For me, I'm usually too stable in my shoulders, which is causing things to be
all jazzed up.
I tried these new stretches for my hips, for my shoulders, and it's all based on the Yanda approach. The whole idea is that, let's do the hips again.
If your butt's out, you're too tight, you're too tight.
So it makes an X. So what you want to do is you want to loosen this guy up, loosen this guy up.
You want to tighten this and tighten this.
Because your butt and your core is going to be inactive or weak. So you tighten these and loosen these and it should tilt everything back where you want it. That's kind of the whole idea. A lot of this stuff kind of happens because people sit too much.
And they're at a desk and they start to look like Mr. Burns. Oh, Smithers.
That's the whole idea, and that's why I do all this stuff.
I hope this answered a bunch of questions. I know this isn't as crazy and fun a vlog, but it's informative and I hope it helps. But Shawn, why do you do all these drills and stuff anyways? It doesn't make any sense at all. I just have no idea why anything even happens.
Idea is to pole vault higher. For right now, I suppose. So, if you look from this week compared to last week, I know it's just a week, but by locking that core down and having more mobility in my shoulders, it allows the core to stay down so that I keep moving forward in a straight line while the pole bends around me, and it makes it so my arms are out. So it keeps my hips back, which is down the road, so you can create a more aggressive swing and move the pole forward. It's night and day compared to last week and this week, so it's working. And this is I'll probably start with these drills every day, and then next week I'm actually gonna get upside down.
For the first time. Things about time. It's November and I haven't been upside down yet.
That's kind of what I'm doing for the drills, and that's why I'm doing a bunch of them. So there you go.
I hope I answered everybody's question because there was a lot of them last week.
Like always, please subscribe to me right here and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Shawn Danger Hoot.
Because Danger's my middle name. I still think that's funny every time I say it.
Couple updates. Check the Flight Deck Athletics website, flightdeckathletics.com. There are a bunch of camp dates up, and I will be working a whole bunch of them, which is exciting because I'd love to coach. Another interesting thing, I had a meeting with Twin Cities Track Club last weekend, and I got a whole bunch of new ideas, and I'm going to create a website with a members only section. to give you guys a bunch of workouts and drills and all my circuits and a bunch of other stuff. So if you guys think that's a good idea, let me know. If not, I'm not going to waste hours and hours and hours of my time.
There's a lot of other interesting things coming up too, so just stay tuned and I'll let you know what's coming. Auf Wiedersehen!
Wake up! You told me to wake you up, so that's what I'm gonna do. You mad? That scared the what out of you. I think it's time for you to get out of bed. It's almost 4 o'clock, I said. Bong. Bong. You don't look happy to me, but you gotta get your homework done, or else you're gonna be crabby. Or else you're gonna be crabby. Bong. Bonging on. Oh shit. Did I scare you? Was it funny? It will be later.